following presentation has been paid for by Big F Pictures.
I always win when I play in the dark. All in again? Come on, Mike.
Again?
All in.
You sure?
Yeah, you probably win.
No, I better just call.
Is Matusow playing just to double up here?
Well, that's he's getting to that stage right now. He's only got about 5,000 left. He's gonna, and there's already like that much in the pot. We're only on the turn now.
All in. Call.
Oh, that's a quick call.
Oh.
Whee! I set him up like a dog, baby. How many green chips you have there?
Poker 101, how to school Phil Hellmuth. Film at 11. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away.
First out again?
He got this voice back.
Then I trapped Philly, baby. Yesterday.
That was classical.
That'll go into his Phil's book.
I
Phil,
believe
you can put that in your book, though.
Yesterday.
How to play pocket threes in the back.
How do you want to be remembered in the poker industry and in life in general?
Mikey represents the beginning and the end of what the best characters for poker ever were.
Everyone starting out watching poker was watching Mike.
You can't talk about the game without mentioning his name.
Mike is definitely a huge influence on the game. He's a great ambassador for the game.
He's a legend in poker.
Mike is Mike. He's gonna talk. He's gonna run his mouth towards everybody.
I love Matusow, man. He's one of my favorite players.
Very forthcoming about his own trials and tribulations, which to me has been very influential.
As you know, he's had a lot of ups and downs in his career.
Top 5 easily. Definitely top 5, dead or alive.
Yeah, he's in my top 5. I definitely want to see him play some big O.
He's always maintained a good heart.
I mean, he don't waste no money.
I've always considered him a friend.
Since I started playing poker, I was looking up to Mike.
And I was just so intimidated. You know, I'm sitting by Mike Matusow. This is Poker After Dark. This is crazy for me.
He's certainly one of the most recognizable names in poker in the last 20 years.
Not only a great player, but like a super nice and friendly guy. And
Mike the Mouth and, you know, the blow-ups and the crazy personality.
What will always stand out to me is how kind he was, how nice he was to me.
He was definitely one of the top guys in my mind.
I love that guy. He's been around forever.
Mike had already done quite a lot and was a very well-known poker player.
He belongs in the Mount Rushmore of poker.
We still love him. We still love him. There's only one Mike the Mouth.
We're here for a reason. Phil Hellmuth, Mike Matusow, two of the greatest in the game.
When he was on the table, he made it his presence felt.
Great run, absolutely, during the height of the poker boom, established himself as one of the all-time great characters of the game.
The question is, can he get to a position relative to the field that he was at all those years ago? And the answer is, I don't know.
And is that standing the test of time? I think that's the question that a lot of people struggle with.
We'll see.
He will never be able to not play poker. I don't think it's something he can ever give up.
But I just think that none of us have anything if it wasn't for the fans. None of us. So.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Mouthpiece. Sorry it's been a while. I was sick for a while. I grinded through that disastrous horse tournament. Oh, wait. And the first guest of the day is Lane, back-to-back, I don't cash flack.
My family immigrated from Russia, so we're Russian Jew. We didn't come from money. My dad would travel from the valley to Gardenia to be at work at 9. He would leave at 5:30, get off at 5, and wouldn't get home till like 9:30. So his whole life was like work to support us. That's why we moved to Vegas, because my dad couldn't stand the traffic anymore. So that's when he bought a business out here. They ran a carpet and furniture store for 30 years. My parents used to gamble all the time. They used to play video poker. And I used to laugh at them, and I'd say, why would you ever gamble? You can't win. And then my mom would come home all the time. Oh, I hit a royal for another $1,000. I met Lauren and Eric when I first moved to town. Eric was 6 years old. I was 10. Lauren brought me to Maxim Hotel and we started playing video poker and I didn't want to play. He's like, oh, just play $10, Mike. This is fun. And I win like $86, right? That was like all the money in the world. What I used to do for like 40 or $50 a day, I used to kill myself. I'd work all day for my parents, take whatever money I had, and then go start playing video poker machines. You know? A guy named Phil Samaroff was sitting next to me playing video poker, and he's like, stop wasting your money on this. He goes, you can't win. I'll teach you how to do something where you'll never have to work the rest of your life. He said, have you ever heard of the World Series of Poker? I said, yeah. He goes, I'll teach you how to be a great Hold'em player, and who knows, maybe you'll win the World Series one day. So I sat behind him in the poker room, which was like 20 feet away from where I'm playing video poker. He writes me out a sheet, a ranking of hands. You know, aces are 1, kings are 2, ace, king 3. I started playing in 1991. So I was just like, I was making like $400 or $500 a week. I mean, $1,000 to me was like $1 million. I think the third time I played video poker, I hit a royal for $1,000. And like 2 days later, I hit another one. And I just like, oh, this is great, right? And my mom would always hint like, seems like I'm missing a few $100 out of my wallet. She goes, something doesn't feel right. I would sneak into her purse and steal like $100. I mean, I was full-blown addicted to poker machines. I worked for my parents also. My dad was hard to deal with. I mean, he was very opinionated. We didn't talk. It was his way or the highway. Every quarter I made, my dad would pay me and I would just lose it playing video poker. Then I would just keep playing video poker, go broke, and back to the furniture store. And then when this guy started teaching me how to play poker and I started winning, there was no reason for me to go work for my father and get yelled at every day. You know, I realized like, wow, I'm putting in like 8-10 hours a day for like $100 a day. And the dealers, they're putting in 8 hours a day and they were guaranteed $150 a day. So I'm thinking, why don't you teach me how to deal? I asked my friend Glenn, who still works over at the Mirage and we're still friends. So I'd spend like an hour a day learning how to deal. I'd go home and I'd have to pitch cards in a trash can until my mechanics were perfect.
The World Series of Poker was a huge grind and you couldn't make it every day, so you found a way to clone yourself, is that right? Why did you decide to clone yourself? Does he play in the events you can't play in? And he's barely taking away your ability to speak.
That's very true. And the thing is he's the silent partner of the two. And we basically kind of hang out here and I tell him what to say and what to do, and he does a good job.
So I got my first job dealing over at Gold Coast. They hire you for 3 months. At the 3-month part, if they want to keep you on, they have to give you full insurance. Right at the 3-month mark, they fire you. Sam's Town was like the best dealing job in Vegas at the time, you know, because that was the rich area of town. In 1991, I played my first tournament. It was a $10,000 free roll at Sam's Town. Found myself halfway through the tournament. Very next hand, I had pocket sixes. I raise, flop a set of sixes. We get it all in. I got 4,800. I won the tournament for 10,000. Then I decided to move up to 2040. And 2040 had all the pros in it, and I found myself making like 700 to 1,000 every night. Sometimes I'd play all through the night, and then I'd have to go deal. That's when I told my mom and dad that I'm quitting my job and I'm gonna try and play poker professionally. My mom and dad blew a gasket. If you go broke, don't come for us for money, because we're never giving you any. I was making a lot of money, and then I would take it all and blow it all betting sports. The next 2.5 years that I dealt at Sam's Town, all I wanted to do was play. A guy named Neil, who played at Sam's Town, he told me, I'll back you, and you can quit your job and sign a paper and promise I'll never bet sports as long as he's backing me. So I did. In 2008, Antonio said, I don't feel like going out tonight, Mike. I'm just gonna hang with my girlfriend. I'm like, okay, take me back to the Rio. And he goes, I don't feel like taking you back to the Rio. Why don't you call a cab? So Dan Blitzerian says, if you don't mind, I'll drive you home in my race car. I get in his car, leave in the parking lot. He says, buckle up, I'm putting my seatbelt on. And he hits the gas before I'm locked in completely. And my back just snaps. I called Jeff, he told me to come in.
I got you, give me a second.
I don't know what he's gonna do, but maybe he can help me.
Right there, Jeff will be in just a moment, okay?
Can you get me some cup for some, I need some water.
You need some water, yeah.
So he drops me off where my car is at the Rio parking garage. And I fall out of his car and I'm screaming in pain. didn't even drink that
Here you
whole.
go, Major.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I have been involved in the poker industry since 2005. I was the head of the multimedia department at Card Player. They told me that I would be working with a professional poker player by the name of Mike Matusow.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the first ever episode of The Mouthpiece.
My first gig in the industry was to produce a radio show that he was a co-host of.
My advice to most people out there and to you is if don't blow your bankroll if you have nobody to borrow from.
But the first time I met Mikey was pretty interesting. I was set up for the radio show in a hotel suite in Tunica, Mississippi, at a WPT event that we were covering. And he is just stressed out because he just busted out of the tournament downstairs, and he was telling me how he tried to throw himself out of the window of his room, but he ended up bouncing off of the glass and landing back onto the floor. He turned out to be one of my very best friends in the entire industry.
My good friend of mine for so long. You know how he is. Tight ass, baby.
1998 World Series comes up. I've blown like most of the money I've won betting sports. I got maybe 10 or 15,000 in my name. Nobody could get a hold of Neil. And we're leaving messages. Are you gonna put Scotty in? And we're thinking maybe he's dead.
He is the guy, very honest. You know, he tell you like the way it is, you know? That's why I always love him.
Finally, we go over his house. He's like, no, I'm not putting up the 10,000 for Scotty. That night, I had a dream that Scotty won the World Series of Poker. The next day, I put Scotty in 5 $1,000 satellites. Scotty's gonna win the World Series for $1 million. I'm gonna have $1/3 in my pocket, and the rest is gonna be history.
I was at Binion's Horseshoe the night they came and got Mikey and said, hey, can you put up some money to get Scotty in a satellite? Mikey grabbed the money. He was dealing at Samstown. He got the money. He was playing 20-40 limit hold'em, had the balls to put his last money up to get Scotty in the last satellite of the night. I watched this whole thing transpire. Next thing I know,
you call, baby, it's all over. You called, baby, it's all over.
There's Mikey at the final table, high-fiving Scotty with $1 million fucking dollars. Baby.
Thank you, Tony. The good man, one of the best people you'll meet in poker, man.
What bothered me so much was, there's Mike Matusow, the guy who staked Scotty. That's all you would hear. No, I'm Mike Matusow, and I'm fucking the best limit hold'em player in the world. Doyle Brunson says to me, if you don't feel it when you lose, you ain't playing high enough. All right, we'll step it up from 2,400 to 4,800. Fuck it. And I get massacred, and I go broke. And I'm fucking penniless. But I had a lot of equity in my house. So I borrow 100,000. I refinanced it. Went back playing 100, 200, 400. I was doing fine. This final table, I fucking won it in 20 minutes. And the tournament was over. I'm no longer the guy who staked Scotty. You know, I'm a world champion.
Here we have my favorite cat. This is Flash. Flash, run, Flash, run! Where are you going?
He lost his ear because he lost his spleen. And they had to take his spleen out. And they had to take his ear out because the dummy got cancer. Why'd you get cancer for? But Daddy fixed you, didn't he?
He was born like 7 months after the 2001 World Series. Think about how long ago that was. Here's my boy.
Ba-ba-ba! That's a good boy.
Look, you're almost done. Look how quickly you did it today. So proud of you. Aren't you proud of your brother? He's 20 and he's got a starting stage of kidney failure. So this keeps the water, basically it injects him with water, called sub-Q fluid. See, when they have like their kidneys start to fail, they don't like to drink as much water. And don't puke. Don't puke this time. Please, please, I gave you your tummy med. Don't puke. When I was playing in Crystal Park, I met Huck Seat. He had just won the main event at the World Series in 1996. And he says, man, he goes, you're the best player in this game. You play great. Dude, the guy just won the World Series of Poker, and he's telling me how great I play, right? I was a confidence boost. I play my first event at the World Series. Phil sits down at our table. Everybody looks at him, right? Now he's considered like the best in the world. The first 10 I play against him, flip over ace queen, he flip over ace eight. And I'm saying, the first thing I said to myself is, how could this guy be the best in the world and pay me off with ace eight? So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, how good am I? You know, I'm hungry, dude. I want to win.
When I know I'm going to win, I know I'm going to win.
I was the only person in the history of poker to win $1 million tournament twice in 1 year, and that lasted all the way till about 2014. I made the main event final table in 01 and 05.
That's what you get.
I consider NBC up my greatest accomplishment. When I won it, all I kept screaming was vindication, vindication, vindication.
You gotta go for it, baby!
I felt I was vindicated. In 2005, I was the most famous poker player in the world. I'm with Full Tilt, making $50,000 a month.
Mike, what's the secret to your success?
I'm the best player here, that's what.
It's a pretty big feat. I was convinced if I wasn't the best no-limit hold'em player in the world, I was definitely top 3. But I'm partying with porn stars, and I'm partying with strippers, and I'm fucking having the time of my life. And boy, I like cocaine. It was fun.
He unfortunately got into Full Tilt poker. If he went to Poker Stars, it would have been a different story. From then on, he started making a lot of money in poker. A lot of money. I'm talking about like $50,000 a month. It's a lot of money. But he squandered it. That's another problem. If he had put it in the bank, save it. But he didn't listen. He just squandered it. And I helped him financially with a lot of money.
It's not a matter of saying, hey, I just won a tournament. Here, Mom, here's 10 grand. Hey, thanks a lot for being there for me. It's not even a matter of money. He doesn't make an attempt. And then when my mom says to me, she's like, oh, what do you care? You're rich anyway.
I haven't got back any of it, which I think he should sometimes give me back a little bit of it, but he never had a chance to, he said. And I think if he got a lot of money, he would give it back to me, but I'm not sure about that.
You know, after my injury, I had to borrow money. You know, I didn't owe them a quarter until I got injured for 20 years. They had to help me out. And you know, they made me sell my house. After my injury, you know, I lost everything. My bills were like $25,000 a month.
I guess it's time to show you around my life as I take you on a tour of the Matusow house. Here we have my living room. Third living room. My empty chandelier with stained pet carpet.
I lost my house and I had to sell it in 2016. I had no income, I couldn't play, I was bedridden for 15 months. You know, I owed a lot of money to Daniel. I couldn't work because of my injury, and it just makes me depressed. I mean, because I sold my house for $420 and it's worth $700 today. And that was 5 years ago. So, you know, I didn't want to sell it. I owned it for 18 years. But it's one thing that it's one thing I'll always bother me because my parents and shit, they're like, well, I kind of lost everything because I couldn't work for months. So, yeah, it took a lot out of me. When I moved out of the house, crushed me. Really did. Totally crushed me. So, I put 2 there. I usually put like 1 on my side, right here on the rib. That's where the intercostal rib is, fucked up. And then I could put both of them on, but my knee's fucking hurting. So I'll put this fucker on my knee. And then I'll turn this fucking thing up as high as I could take, which is usually around 15 or 16. What this will do is this will put my nerve that's fucked up, my intercostal nerve, it like straightens it out for a while until it gets all whacked out again. But usually I only have to use this machine, I would say between 1 to 2 times a month. Where I used to have to use it 5 days a week for 5 years straight. I know. I was just telling him how you always come up when I'm doing this. That's what you do. That's my life.
So in Michael's case, he had pathology in his thoracic spine, and normally when folks have issues with their spine, it's in their neck and their low back. So the fact that it was in the thoracic spine within itself was a little bit more atypical, and it's also a little more dangerous. And what was happening in Michael's case about 10 years ago was his thoracic spine was becoming very stenotic or very tight. And there were some changes that were happening in his spinal cord that were representing possible spinal cord injury or damage.
Good. We did 3 times, so that's 12 steps overall, and then the second time you did 4 of these and 6 of those. But you saw how much stronger you were on the 4-inch versus the 6-inch.
You know, poker changed a lot, but you know, baby, just like Mike, we play our own style.
It's a bunch of great talents out there, and if they want to become the greatest of all time, they're going to have great reading abilities.
The young players who are hungry are putting an insane amount of hours studying so many different sims that the game's going to continue to evolve.
Daniel, you're the best card reader I ever met. You got King Jack, you got King Queen. That's why now when he's all about ICM and GTO, I'm like, what are you doing?
I don't care what changed. Young kid tried to push us around, think we can't play no more. But I'm telling you, baby, they scratch their head, they go like, what the hell do I doing? Why I let Scotty set me up? You know what I mean? That's the greatest thing.
It's become much more mathematically based.
It's interesting, you know, you can't get there just with math.
I don't think you can compare the eras. They're completely different.
But a lot of people think you can. They discount the reading abilities.
I've known Mike Matusow since the late 1990s. He's been a character in the game ever since. You know, we both sort of came up in the same time in terms of poker being on television and part of the poker boom, and plenty of famous moments that were on ESPN from back in the day.
Me and Daniel are very good friends. Now we had a lot of ups and downs.
Show it to me. Show me what's negative.
Twitter, just everything you tweet.
No, it's the truth. Not negative. It's truth. You just don't like the truth. Negative is when you don't tell the truth.
No, that has nothing to do with it. You know what's true? You're dumb. That's negative, what I just said, right? It's true, but it's also very negative. I mean to say that. It happens to be a but it's also not nice.
You know I love you, brother.
Very opinionated person. Reminds me of my father. Daniel would be right 85, 90% of the time, but when he's wrong, oh my God, just forget it. You're drawn dead.
So the way that I look at it is this, right? I am me. Authentically, whether you like it or not, right? I'm not going to apologize for the fact that I'm human.
A lot of people don't like Daniel because of his strong opinions.
Most days I have good days. Every once in a while I have bad days where I'm mad and I want to rip the cards just like anybody else. I think that's relatable and it's honest, and I don't want to be fake or phony.
But I don't care about those things. I know he's got a good heart.
Would like to tell people that are like that follow his Twitter a lot of times, don't take him so seriously when he says something. Don't let him trigger you, because half the time he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
He's so controversial with some of the statements he makes, and it seems like people either love him or don't love him.
He's taken a lot of public positions that people don't like.
You might think he's purposely trying to get you mad. He's not. He's just
68. Look at this. They made it to 70. There you go. $70 fucking to fill up a tank of gas.
I mean, normally I would never show up on time, but my friend Mike Matusow made a great point. He said, they play this game so bad, you could easily get a double stack in the first level. Let's play the no limit deuce, see how we do. And if not, I'll play the 3K horse tomorrow. Monday, we have the dealer's choice 10K, and I haven't been able to just get anything going. This will be my 5th tournament. Played 2 10Ks, 25K and a 1500. So this is a 1500 horse. This is one of the best tournaments of the year. So many fish cakes. The one I played in the last 1500 was like the best one of the year. 640 people. I had 5 people of the 40 people that knew how to play it. Every game on my table. I rolled fucking. Table draw's really important in these fucking weeks. When I get there, I pay the guys like $1,000, and I give the bellman like 200 for the whole World Series. And they just, as soon as I pull up, they just bring my scooter out. Everybody knows each other. It's kind of like what the World Series was pre-Moneymaker boom. November 26th, it'll be my 25th year. So it's like a 25-year anniversary. So hopefully we can win a bracelet. I don't recommend anybody playing poker for a living. It's a hard way to make an easy living. Best way we describe it. You got to be mentally tough. You got to take the downswings.
Bill just signed up. You know what he says? Yeah, I just signed up. I raised $3,000 under the gun and got 4 callers. You don't even know one person at his fucking table. They replaced us with everybody. I know all 7 people by first name. Eat a fucking dick. Fucking got dealt an 8-6, and he fucking drew a better 8-6. Fuck this fucking place. Phil walks right up and says, "Oh, I got a good table. First 10, I raised $3,000 under the gun. 4 people called, 3 of them drew 2.
You know what the best part is? Actually, what I said was true. 3 people called.
Oh, and 2 of them drew 2.
One
You know
drew
what the
2.
best part is? Your table was bad.
I offered this guy a free roll where I was going to put up the money and just let him play for 50%. But he's like, well, I don't think I can take that because I have investors in my other
10K. Mike Wattel, you gotta come out early, Mike. There's so many idiots in this event. I show up at fucking 4 o'clock and this is what I have to think. Your motherfucking ass shows up at 9 o'clock. You've got more chicks than I've ever had. And Puffy, you got a good table.
That's not serious going overall.
Well, I don't know. I got 0 for 5 cashes going in today. You can't fucking win when you bubble the 25K and bubble the 10K and then draw in the 1500s. Fucking 6 fucking pros. I'm sorry.
Okay, go run it up.
Good luck,
Okay,
man.
thanks for the Mike. Appreciate it.
And the whole fucking poker world was laughing at our table. I've now drawn in the 3 straight 1500s, the 3 worst tables I've ever had in the history of my life playing poker.
Yeah, well,
Can't win it.
That's the luck of the draw.
Listen, if you can't get a good table draw, it doesn't matter.
That's important in position, too, yeah.
If you could be the best player in the world, and if you get the worst table every time, you're just never going to win.
Nothing,
There's
you're
like
never
0
gonna go
chance.
nowhere, yeah.
You draw 7
Well,
pros at
tonight
your
could be
table.
your night. Hey, tonight could be your night. You never know. You never know.
Could be.
How many tournaments can you afford to play?
I can't afford to play any, but I'm playing them all.
Well, who's backing you?
Nobody.
So how much money do you have left from all
I
this?
don't want to talk about it. I just want to play.
You know, you can't be broke, Michael, when it's all over.
Why not? I've been broke before.
Yeah, but you can't afford to be broke.
I'll be all right. I got somebody taking half of me in the 10Ks. So
Yeah.
even if I brick out the entire tournament, it's only going to cost me $100,000. I'm not bricking. I'm not bricking out the tournament, Mom. Don't worry about me.
When it comes to the World Series, the big one, I might go half with you.
Well, I've already sold half, so you don't even have to go half.
You already sold half? Oh,
Yeah, I've sold
I'm
half.
a lucky gambler. Okay, I love you. Take care. Bye-bye.
The end of 1998, go on a car player cruise. I meet this girl named Elsie. She was a stripper at the time. She's like, take a bump of this, or what is that? She's like, it was speed. And then she talks me into taking ecstasy. So we're at Club Rio, then we go to the Voodoo Lounge. From like 10 o'clock at night till about 3 in the morning, they were trying to talk me into taking an ecstasy tab. Finally, they talked me into it. The only thing I said to myself is, God forgive me, don't let me die. 30 minutes went by and I didn't feel nothing. And it starts to hit me. It was a complete out-of-body experience, like something you never expect. Everything about my life that I thought before that night had changed. All of a sudden, I went from scared of talking to people, not liking many people, to loving everyone. I go, we're going on a cruise next week. I want some of these. She goes, well, how many do you want? I said, well, we're gonna be gone for 7 days. Give me 100 of them. And I'm handing out ecstasy pills to everybody. We had now done ecstasy for 7 straight days on the cruise. I developed a really strong personal life because they allow you to say anything you want to anybody. You get tremendous confidence from it. I'm like the man. I'm a millionaire. And I had an entourage of like 22 people. We went to a lounge, then a club, then after hours at my house. I had a pool party all day. I was always last man standing. We'd start partying 10 o'clock at night Saturday. By the end, I was like going to bed at 5 a.m. Monday. Me and Eric went out 5 days a week, and we met so many girls, and we had so much fun. So many after parties, and saw so many crazy and fun stuff. I mean, I lived the life what every guy dreams of doing. I mean, I partied with porn stars, have different girls come over, and she'd have sex with them in front of everybody. She would sometimes do like 4, 5, 6 girls a fucking day on a Sunday. It was just insane. By Tuesday, I was brain dead. I started dating this girl, Tina, who I met out partying one night, and she got me taking crystal meth. She goes, listen, Mike, just take a tiny little snort of this, and it's gonna make you super focused. And I remember Ray D told me, don't do it, Mike. It'll destroy your life. First 6 months, I started taking 1, maybe 1.5 lines of crystal meth every day. This is amazing. I played in a zone. I knew what everybody's cards were. I make like 1.2 million playing poker in the next 6 months. Now I could take a line of fucking meth and I could play for 48 hours straight. But as Ray D said to me, it was going to turn on me, and it did. I started taking multiple pills a day. Now all of a sudden I took a second pill, a third pill, a fourth pill. And next thing you know, instead of going out at 10 o'clock at night, going to sleep at 2 in the morning, go out at 10 o'clock at night, pop a pill till 2 in the morning, pop another pill till 6 in the morning, pop another pill till 10 in the morning. Now you have no serotonin left in your head. Now no matter how many pills you pop, you don't get that feeling anymore. All the top poker players were on cocaine, ecstasy, and crystal meth.
I think the hard lifestyle that sometimes accompanies poker have taken down many poker players over the years, dating all the way back to, the early days of the World Series of Poker. Jack Treetop Strauss, Sailor Roberts, all met, their demise from that hard living.
When I started coming up, there was always a bunch of guys around me that I saw, getting into the Vegas lifestyle. Plenty of them throughout the years. And most people that go down that road don't come back. But, some do. Some, have that awakening. And they're like, this, I got to make a change in my life. And
I watched him win the World Series in 1997. And then in 1998, he couldn't even come out of his room to defend his title. Billy Baxter was trying to get him out of his room. Billy put him in 97. Billy wanted to put him in 98. He couldn't get him out of his room. He was in a drug frenzy, cocaine bender. 6 months after the main event of 98, that they found Stu Unger dead, penniless, in a cheap motel. They did a movie on him, Stu Unger story. I watched it and I said to myself, I'm not going to let that be me. So I quit everything in July 26th of 2003. But when I get up every day, I have to take one of these, which is opioid. It's a 10-325 for pain. And then I got to take 2 of these, which is gabapentin for nerve pain. And I take these 3 times a day. Then I got to take this. This is called Lamictal. If you've watched me at the World Series this year, the ups and downs has not been what it normally is. This is a mood stabilizer. And the psychiatrist put me on this. These here, they're called Robax, and they're muscle relaxers. When I go into spasms, maybe once a month for my intercostal neuralgia, and these stop the spasms. I used to take like 23 different pills a day. When I take the Adderall, it causes my Tourette's to act up. During the World Series, I have to take this Klonopin because when I go to sleep at night, I take 1 a day, and that helps me control the Tourette's that's caused by the Adderall. Now, they give me 2 a day, which is 60 milligrams, 30 milligrams twice. But during the World Series, I have to take the Adderall because I can't compete with the kids. The fucking pain meds make me brain dead. My memory sucks. And plus all the fucking ecstasy I did when I was younger, that kind of already made me a little bit brain dead. As far as like the depression, I don't worry about that much. Since I got on the mood stabilizer, I really haven't been depressed at all. You start off at like a 25 milligram, then you have every 2 weeks to 50, 75. But when I got to 100 milligrams, I told her I was feeling depressed. So we lowered it back to 75 milligrams. Well, I used to take meds for my bipolar. I used to take Depakote. And then I got off of it because one of the side effects of Depakote was hair loss. So from 2005, when I had a full set of hair, and 2006 I was half bald. And now I was pissed because I had how everybody has a hang up about something about themselves. And I hated my thinning of my hair because it made me look old. And I just hated it. Well, just during the World Series, I take 6, 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
The podcast is basically a weekly thing. I come over to his house, set up the equipment, get the stream set up. We used to do it recorded and edited. And one time we decided to do it live. And we stuck with that format because it's more interactive with the audience. Mikey thrives off of the live format as well because he does like to interact with the audience. We get callers that call in while they're watching or listening to the podcast. That's the majority of the show, really.
Wow, it's Phil's best friend. You're famous now, buddy.
I just want to win a fucking ante. I don't even care about what.
From now on, when I see you, you're Phil's best friend.
My first impression of Mike was still when I was just getting into poker, watching him on TV with his annex and being a little nutty. That was even back at the Horseshoe downtown in the World Series before we moved to Rio.
Clear, it's Phil's best friend coming through.
No longer Mike. And his #1 fan.
We become very friendly, very close. Mike's a great guy, super hard. He's just a good friend all around.
If you unfortunately run out of chips, do not leave the area until we get you paid. All right, dealers, the button should be set on each table accordingly. Gentlemen, I'd like to wish you all the very best of luck today. Dealers, go ahead and shuffle up and deal.
Between all the GTO and all the charts and all the studying, I got 11 cashes and 3 final tables in 21 events. Freddie Bagnotti won a bracelet. So many old school players won a bracelet. So when they keep telling you the new generation is better than the old school generation, it's like Ryan Lang said, maybe we're all missing something here. Phil, Daniel, Mike are old school and they're making every final table and every deep run. Maybe we're all missing something here. And you know what I wrote in the tweet back? Exactly. You guys are missing something. Because they are. You gotta remember, I play 20 or 25 tournaments a year. The World Series, that's it. My body's fucked up. I cannot travel around the world and play tournaments.
Would you consider the field as this year tougher, softer, more about the same?
The same.
I mean, how's Mac holding up?
Mac's hard. I never won a pot in poker. We almost got to fucking chips starting stack. And we're at 40 again. Now we got like 8 big bets. It's the normal fucking stack that we have. Basically, you just get fucked every fucking year. It's bullshit, man. Nice fucking last 2 hours, huh, buddy? Fucking motherfucker plays every fucking hand. He fucking coolers me there. He's fucking in every hand, fucking Felipe. And he coolers me there. You fucking believe that shit?
You have to put it in. No.
I should have stayed fucking 6 here. Fuck that. You know what it takes to quarter me in this fucking game? Fucking fuck.
Would be cooler like it was it is.
It's every fucking day as I watch this motherfucker with 250,000, that motherfucker, this motherfucker every fucking day. I win like 2 pots a fucking day every fucking day. Fucking joke.
Your tips, Mikey?
No. Phil, they fucked me again, Phil. They fucked me again with fucking 2 hours to go. And they fucked me with 15 minutes to go in a big O pot. Fucking they quartered me for fucking losing 60,000. So make sure you make sure that gets put away as soon as you can. Okay. You got it? Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a great night.
Mike's been a big supporter, and we've been talking about this for a long time, and he's going to keep playing the show. He came to play my show, and then, you know, he somehow convinces me into, this is disgusting, but putting the like patch on his back. And like, that's when you know that you're one of Mike's real friends, when, you know, if you haven't put the patch and the ointment on his back, then, or whatever it is, then you're not Mike's real friend.
Just something about a lot of poker players that are not personable, and your persona is way different than who you are. And I will tell you this, and I'm not just saying this, you're one of the good guys in poker, and I'm glad to be your friend.
2 or 3 days ago, you did 50 feet. You were in a lot of pain, and you had some colorful language to go along with it. It's a technical pain scale, number of obscenities used while in pain. You just walked the same distance. You were a lot faster, and in less pain, and 0 obscenities. Yeah. So
that's awesome, right?
All those obscenities I won't fit into my persona.
And I'm at the bicycle club playing the tournament, and I'm sitting on one of those shitty chairs like you see at the World Series of Poker, and the chair breaks, and I go straight to the ground. So 2 weeks after that fall, all of a sudden couldn't walk. It was like my feet were numb. I then spent like the next month going from doctor to doctor, trying to figure out what's wrong with me. We've looked at everything. All I kept saying is, I'm getting paralyzed. Something is seriously wrong here. It took 2 weeks to talk to insurance to give me a thoracic MRI. So Jerry called and says, I'm guessing the thoracic MRI came out, nothing wrong. And they go, it says you have a 7 millimeter central disc protrusion of your spinal cord. And it says on the report, see a neurosurgeon immediately. Kafkin looks at my MRI and he goes, "This is very bad. You need surgery like immediately or you're going to be paralyzed. And as long as the discs aren't calcified, I could do it." 2 weeks before surgery, he says, "I can't do it. The discs are calcified." And he says, "Well, there's only one other person I could tell you to go to." He goes, "And that's Dr. William Smith. And you need surgery like immediately or you're going to be paralyzed." By the time I walked into the surgery, I couldn't walk. I ended up in the ICU for 3 days and in the hospital for a week. And it wasn't until 6 days into the hospital that my toe just wiggled. And when my toe wiggled, the doctor said, "Today's the best day of your life, Mike, because you ain't paralyzed." He goes, "This is the best news you're ever gonna hear." I remember them coming to the hospital bed and they're making me get up with the walker and walk to, it was the most painful thing I could ever remember.
And a little bit more here.
You can do it. You can do it, man. You can do it, actually.
I'm gonna make my butt. I'll make my crack.
Okay, the sacrum.
I've never known a person in my life that I love as much as Mike did, is as big of a pain in the ass as this guy. It's just hard not to love him, man. Mike is the kind of guy that you meet him and you're charmed by him. And even though, you know, he's got this way about him, he says whatever comes to mind, he can be a total asshole. But then when you get to know him, you see that teddy bear underneath. You feel the heart that he has, and you kind of come under the spell of Matusow.
We're going to do the podcast, and then we're going to play the tournament tomorrow. And I can't survive here. I don't know where I'm at, so We've got the most chips we've had in any tournament since the first one. We have 166.
You shot it by Paul Mac? Maybe. Only maybe?
Like Jack 7 or something.
There.
If I get chips, I could play fucking poker. Running good and playing good, and that's a good combo. We still have 3 more hours left today. We are in the money. There's 14 left. I'm playing so good today. So good.
There you go. Right the mouth. Mike Matusow, the greatest poker player in the world, bar none, except when his meds are all fucked up and then he's a mental case.
Mike
As of yesterday, he was the best. Tomorrow, he could be a Barry Shulman of poker.
I was done. I was pretty much done with drugs. My doctor, Keon Cavey, he kept saying to me, "I want you to meet my friend, Mike. He just moved here from New York. He's really cool." This guy's walking with me outside. He's asking me these questions, and it felt awkward. I'm thinking to myself, this guy's weird. When everybody came to the house, the entourage, I said to some people, I said, "Listen, why don't you guys all put up $200 each if you want a couple ecstasy pills at $250. And then Keon is pressing me to go out with this guy from New York that he introduced me to at the Pimp and Hope party. He called this guy Mike Vento, but his real name was Mike Gennaro. And he kept saying, you got to hook him up with a couple hundred ecstasy tabs and like 2 grams of cocaine. He begged me, please make some calls. He doesn't know anybody. I promise you, this guy, I've known this guy for years. He's one of my good friends. Finally, I call Ashley, my good friend Ashley. Can you find some of those pills that you brought up when you were here like 6 months ago? So she gets me like 200 pills. It's like this big rock of cocaine. I'm thinking, this is a lot of cocaine. You know what I'm saying? One of my closest friends, Tony, who I dealt poker with in the 90s, says, you know, the doctor's giving me all these pain pills. He goes, I don't need that much of them. I've got like 100 extra. Do you know anybody that wants to buy them? So I call up the guy that just got cocaine and I'm like, do you want any pain pills? I said, my friend has got like an extra 100 pain pills that he's been sitting around his house in 2 years and he doesn't need it. And he asked if I knew anybody who wanted to buy it. He'd give it to him at cost. So this guy, Mike, comes to the house, right? I give him the drugs. I give him to him at cost. Tony calls me. The strangest thing just happened to me. I go, what? I got pulled over and was being asked these really weird questions. And it was the most bizarre time I've ever been pulled over by a police. I hope that has nothing to do with these pills I just dropped off. I go, Tony, what are you, crazy? I'm like, this guy Mike's calling me every day. I'm at the Borgata in Atlantic City. And I get this call from the guy I used to get the drugs from. What are you doing to me? What are you doing? This guy you introduced me to is an undercover cop. I'm like, what? I go, how do you know this? He goes, my brother works in DEA. I call Keon on the phone. I go, what are you doing to me, dude? This guy who's supposed to be your close friend from New York is an undercover cop. If this is true, I mean, my life's ruined. You fucking called me week after week after week and days to get you these things. I'm like, get back from Borgata, I go to sleep. I hear this knocking on the door, like 6 a.m. I walk downstairs. Yeah, we just had an accident in front of your house. Can we use your phone? I'm like, are you serious? Yeah, somebody was hurt, whatever. I'm like, hang on, let me get dressed. And I throw on a t-shirt, open the door. Police, you're under arrest. This guy spent 1.5 years pretending to be my best friend. I mean, I told this guy everything. Nobody wanted nothing to do with me. You know, they're all thinking I'm gonna fucking narc him out. They wanted me to wear a wire for Tony Verdugo, the guy who built Dre's, and we'll drop all charges. I'm like, fuck that. I had Tony Verdugo run Eli Elezera's Club 7, which is where Aria is right now. I didn't know if they were Israeli mafia or not. I have no clue. But the second I got arrested, they told me, keep this under wraps and you're not gonna have to do any time or nothing. Like, I went right to Tony Verdugo. I told him the whole story. I went right to Eli Elezera. I said, I will never fucking wear a wire on you guys. You have nothing to worry about. They arrested me. I'll do the fucking time, whatever the fuck it is.
He should have right away got a lawyer instead of just answering their questions. That's another mistake he made.
It's the first time in 25 years me, Phil, Daniel are at the same table. And we're trying to have a little bit of fun and banter. Phil got a little upset at me because I was making fun of him a little too much. But I'm trying to make it fun for everybody. So I know where I'm at. I know what I'm doing. We're good.
I swear to you, Phil has won. We've been playing 3 hours. In 3 hours, he has won more pots than I did the first 7 tournaments I played. Motherfucking pot. I won 3 fucking pots. Fucking Adam raises my button triple draw. I got deuce, 4, 5. Then I catch a 4 and a 5. What kind of hand can he fuck?
All right, try to put your focus on the horse.
Let me go register. What's up, Frankie? Adam cost me $25,000. Right back.
Well, but no guarantee. Whatever. Yeah, down the tracks and the train's coming through. Yeah.
That's awesome. I never did that. He paid. It was a big mistake. I ran bad, but I played terrible.
World Series. Now I can't even walk, and I'm hoping they're not connected, bro.
I don't think the shoulder and the knee are connected.
So it's like starting right here,
okay,
and then it's going right down here and into the shoulder. But I didn't realize it. I mean, it's really bad right here.
So I don't think we did any injections up in here.
No, we didn't.
We were kind of down in here.
Right, and the pain, like right now, is like right here, right where I'm pushing.
Okay.
Like if I push hard, it like puts me in a spasm. It's like a nerve right here.
Okay.
a little bit of the traps and a little bit. You can
You gotta
have some
remember,
rotator cuff in here as
Yeah,
well. So
you
that's
gotta
kinda-
remember, I'm playing, I got my hands on the table.
Right.
You know, I'm playing poker. And I'm getting the double chair, because I used to get this pain in the shoulder before I started double chairing, and I thought it was because of the angle, you know, sitting at
Yeah.
the table. And maybe I should go back to a regular chair instead of a double chair. I don't know, but the pain is so bad yesterday, I was crying.
So we can come up here into this supraspinatus area
Yeah,
here.
that's where the pain is
and
right
just
there.
really hit this area through here.
I literally put pain patch, lidocaine patch on my knee, and I duct taped the motherfucker to it so it doesn't come off, and it
Okay.
still doesn't help. Right, Frank? How many times have we put the thing on the shoulder? It doesn't do shit either.
Yeah. Is it right in here that bothers you?
You know, right there is a lot more fucking pain now.
Okay.
What is this?
It's a steroid.
And what
It's
do I?
5 milligrams. You take one a day for 7
Okay.
days.
But let me ask you something. Playing the main event, is that gonna lower my immune system?
It can.
I mean, I don't want to
it
get.
is-
I mean,
it is
I've
a-
already had COVID, but I mean, it opens up a chance to get COVID again, right?
I mean, there's a possibility, but it's going to come down to you. I mean, at this point, it's the lesser of two evils. You know, do you want to take the risk to play, or would you rather just keep doing what you're doing? I mean, either way, you don't have to take this.
You know, when you gave it to me last time, it got me out of pain for a day. Like you said, it had like lidocaine in it too. But
Yeah, we'll do a couple.
yeah,
But
there and down a little bit. But okay, right there. I just hope this fucking gets me out of pain and make it through this fucking main event.
1, 2, 3, pinch. Doing good.
Oh my god, I'm gonna pass out. The pain's so fucking bad. Oh my god. Oh,
You alright?
yeah, I'm alright.
Almost done. We got one more. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, pinch.
I was in Atlantic City for something called the Showdown at the Sands. It was a televised event. My pre-arrangement was in the morning. I'm at the final table of the main event. The last flight out of Atlantic City was at 8:22 at night. If I win this tournament, I'm gonna have to charter a private fucking jet home for like whatever, 25,000. Who gives a fuck? 30,000. Took a bad beat and finished sixth. I make the plane by like 5 minutes. Some prosecutors up there saying, we believe that he sells drugs for a living to finance his poker. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I start screaming. I said, are you crazy? And they painted me as some big drug dealer. I had never sold a drug in my life. I gave all my drugs away. I'm laying there crying. I get a tap on my shoulder, and it's Mike Gennaro. I go, Mike, what the fuck's going on here? You know I'm not a drug dealer. What are they doing? He goes, I know, Mike. I'm gonna go in right now, and I'm gonna fix this. Everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry, buddy. Mike Gennaro then testifies in front of the judge, goes in the courtroom, and he making up more bullshit about it. Chip Reese at the time said, fuck that. We're getting you David Chesnoff. David Chesnoff was the best attorney. If you look now, he's just big attorney for all the stars. He's just big time. He's the biggest name in attorneys in Las Vegas. But like Chip said, he goes, we can't take a chance. I mean, they might put you away. If they wanted to put me away for 10 years. I paid a lot of money. And Chip put up some money for me. My mom put up some money for me. I forget how much the total I had to pay. Maybe it was 150, 200,000. I get a phone call from Chesnoff. He calls me in Italy. You got to calm down. Hear me out. And he says, I truly believe 90% if this goes to trial, you're going to be found not guilty. But if we get a bad jury or something happens where the jury sides against you, you have to do 10 years in prison. He goes, I can't take that chance. You do 6 months and you never have to worry about it again. And I said, fuck you. I got millions of dollars. I'm never coming back from Italy. And I'm crying. And David Gray and Howard Lederer and Susie and Jawanda, and they had to calm me down and explain to me, listen, Mike, it's only 6 months of your life. So I fly home. But I could have only done 6 months soft, which means get out after 3 months, if I didn't run my mouth to the judge. So when the judge says to me, You're selling those drugs, that poison, and you're killing all these people. I said, sir, I never sold any drugs. He goes, scumbags like you are what destroys people's lives with drugs. 6 months flat. Psst. I was not told that I was going to be handcuffed and led to jail the second I was sentenced either. But now they handcuffed me and they dragged me back. You got to remember, I'm a very sheltered person that thought everybody in the world is super nice. And here I'm being led in handcuffs to jail. I didn't know what to expect. I was fucking scared. I have my own cell where nobody has their own cell. There's only like 30 people that get their own cell in the whole entire prison. You know, and I mean, a lot of things happened to me in jail. I got put in the hole like 3 times and I got moved to kitchen duty. The worst you could ever do is kitchen duty, where you're making the food. That was a night. I don't really want to get too much in the jail because I pretty much, if I don't think about it, I don't remember any of it.
He made some bad choices in his life, Michael. He really did. He came home, he was never himself again. I think that's what started a lot of problems.
I mean, really, we're fucking 16 days into the WSOP and it's got me fucking, maybe got me more tilted than any. Fucking shirt somewhere. Oh. Should wear this one. You know, it bothers me a lot that I'm not in the Hall of Fame and the people they put in front of me is a joke. You know, it's an absolute fucking travesty.
If you look at the criteria for the Poker Hall of Fame, is a player must have played poker against acknowledged top competition. All right, Mike meets that. He's well regarded in the poker world for having, you know, been well networked, playing with some of the best. We've seen it on TV. Be at least 40 years old, which he is, played for high stakes, which he has. To the next 2, which I think is the kind of speed bumps of him getting in, is stood the test of time. Sure, he used to play high stakes, but he doesn't much anymore, at least not in the public eye, if you will. He's not playing the high roller tournaments. We're not seeing him on big televised cash games. Maybe he's playing private games or things like that, but we can't really take that into consideration if we don't know about it. He has been playing since 1996. That's his first recorded tournament cash. Since then, he's amassed almost 10 million in lifetime earnings, which currently, as of right now, as we're recording this, places him outside the top 100 of the all-time money list.
When do I think they'll put me in? Never. I mean, everybody says you'll get in one day, but...
As far as the Poker Hall of Fame, I don't think he'll get into it. He should have been the first one in it. Him and Phil and Danny, they started all of it.
When they say he never be in a Poker Hall of Fame, I disagree with that. I don't think that Mike should kiss ass. I don't think he should change the way he is. But you should realize you don't sit there and crap when you eat.
If Mike wins another bracelet, wins number 5, if he wins another poker tournament soon, like, I think that bolsters his case to getting in.
And call the people, hey, you know, they could put me in Poker Hall of Fame. F you, F you, F you. Oh, yeah, what are they going to do? Tell you, yeah, I really like you, Mike. I think we'll put you in.
His father would have liked it. He wanted his father to see that.
Does he deserve to be in a Poker Hall of Fame? Absolutely he does. Anybody who knows anything about poker knows he does.
When his father was sick, he wanted them to happen, but it'll never happen. He's right about that, Michael.
He doesn't realize that his behavior has caused a lot of his falling out with the poker world, where he was a big star at one time.
But then there is the one last criteria, and that is the respect of his peers. And he's got it with some, and I don't think he has it with others. In order to get in, you got to have the votes, and Matusow has been nominated numerous times, and he still isn't in. It would lead one to believe maybe he doesn't have the support or the respect of his peers that is required to get in.
Phil wants to go down in history, considered the greatest poker player of all time.
Phil's head up for a bracelet. They're close to even in chips. Like 3.8 to like 3.2, I think.
Phil, how many you got?
3.1, maybe 3.2. No advice, just say good luck, Phil.
And to do that, he has to learn to mix games. And he has to learn to mix game at a high level.
Phil told me that he said if he would have drew on this one hand, the tournament would have been over. He said he would have had the tournament over twice. But he didn't want to take a chance and let the guy get back in. And
I've seen Phil at the previous final table this year.
You see the difference?
Yeah, I see the difference. Where's that coming from?
Phil, you've been getting deep in all these mixed games. What a World Series you're having. What are you doing different? What are you studying? What are you doing? He goes, What am I doing different? He goes, I got Mike Matusow teaching me and telling me all the things I'm doing wrong. And they all laughed. They literally all laughed because only Phil Hellmuth and maybe one or two other people know how good I am.
I just want a fucking bracelet. Give me a kiss. I wanted the deuce bracelets.
Phil's having the World Series of his life, and we're only 2 weeks in. He's got a first, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and an 18th. Can't wait to hear all the fucking haters tonight.
How's it going, Mommy?
He might be the best. He might go down as the best because he's going to win a lot of bracelets in mixed games now.
It used to be media folks had a vote. I've had a vote in the past. I may have even sent a vote or two Matusow's way, but as of right now, it's just the living voting members.
The Hall of Fame is sort of like a club, and most of the votes come from within inside. The members of the Hall of Fame are already there.
Hellmuth loves him. Daniel Negreanu, well, their friends are kind of like frenemies. So, like, will they get the votes?
You know, if they decide that they want Mike in, he's going to be in. But for right now, it seems like they just have another agenda.
Of course, Mike's going to the Poker Hall of Fame for sure. One more bracelet and he kind of secures it. He's crushed the cash games for a long time, and he has a great tournament record. Would help him to win a World Poker Tour tournament too.
Now, I don't mean to say that Mike doesn't deserve to be in. It's well known that there's a backlog in the Poker Hall of Fame, and it's only going to get more jammed up as a lot of these players who are in their late 30s turn 40 and become eligible for the Poker Hall of Fame.
I hope that, as an industry, we start to welcome more and more people every year into the Poker Hall of Fame.
If they move it back to 2 people per year, which they definitely should do, then I think Mike has a good chance to get in. It probably needs to happen in the next couple years.
A lot of these people who have been lingering on the list, Mike, Matt Savage, might have a harder time getting in if things don't change.
He's going in.
Can you imagine, like, they gave me all those injections and it didn't even help? I'm gonna have my fucking masseuse fucking try and fix it. I don't drink, but I'm having a drink with my man Frankie. I'll be so fucking wasted after one of these, you have no idea. Doesn't take much because I'm on all these meds. That's why I don't drink. Fucking hammered off a habit, right? And I'm all done. You killed us all.
No dessert today?
Dessert?
Dessert?
Let's see a dessert menu.
I'll bring you just in case.
Why think about it?
I'll give that to you these days. All right, you still.
Just a lot locked up everywhere, just stemming from his injuries many years ago, mixed with just a lot of what he does for a living, sitting in a chair in different levels of stress that just kind of just constantly compact this area. And when it's nerve damage, it's a whole nother level of pain. He'll get these spasms during our session that is just heartbreaking to witness.
I always, respect the previous generation. I learned so much, coming from an online, no limit term background.
Shaun Deeb is a one-of-generation talent.
A lot of people watching this will know the most memorable one when I slow rolled him on Poker Night in America. Mike got a little upset, as he, Mike does at times, and it was a real fun hand for everyone involved except for Mike.
Marlon.
All right, I call.
I've never slow rolled anybody before.
But thankfully, it took him a couple months, but he got past it. And, I still consider him a close friend.
And he apologized a minimum of 100 times.
Even be
You do anything to me, you can call me an name or son. You slow roll me, I'll punch you in the mouth.
All right.
You think I'm joking? I'm not.
I know you're not.
Okay?
Do it. Pop him. Pop him.
If I thought you were offended, I would not have You call me, you can make fun of me, you can do whatever you want.
I love my dad more than anything. Everything I did in my whole life was for my father. It was tough dealing with somebody that you can't ever win an argument with. He always felt he was right. And my brother's just like him.
As far as not seeing eye to eye, probably forever. A lot of people say Mike doesn't take responsibility. I don't think he's aware to even take it.
I love my brother. He blames me for everything.
Actually, it all started when Michael became a big poker star and did a lot of things to Scott that wasn't right.
I think Mike gets so stuck in his own head, he doesn't see other people, or other people kind of don't mean anything to him, although he's not purposely doing it. So I think he just gets like he's not there.
One thing about Michael, he always took friends over family. That's one of his biggest problems.
My brother always talks about, libtard this, liberal that. Okay, fine.
I'm not happy they don't get along. I wish they were close brothers. I really do. Down deep, they care about each other, but
he's not taking personal responsibility. The same thing that he doesn't like in a leftist, he behaves the same way himself.
In other words, if something happened and Mike was in desperate help, he'd run to help him. And I believe, he doesn't believe that, but I believe if he was in desperate help, Michael would come too. But he doesn't really believe that too much.
Mike was not aware that Dad was sick because he's so caught up in himself, he wasn't aware of it. So I don't think that Mike was evil or anything like that.
No, I didn't have to say he was evil.
I don't resent Mike. That's not why I resent. I don't have resentment. You think I don't get along with my brother? That's simply not true. I do not. That's not true. I just don't like the fact when he borrows all that money, he's never made an attempt to even say, here's some back. Not even $500, here's something. That's what bothers me. I know you very well.
You're doing great. Every time I came over, I told you I can't get up. Dad kept saying, get up, I need this. Can you do this for me? Can you do this for me? And you guys have said, oh, you're faking your injury.
Okay.
You're faking your
Wrong.
injury. You're
That's all BS. That's all BS. That's all. This is why we have problems. That's all BS. I take care of everything with Dad. I always take care of Dad. I never have a problem with that.
Every time I
That's nonsense. But you went and played poker with the LA Dodgers, didn't you?
I played poker. I left my house once and fucking
You full of crap, dude. You only care about yourself. Because I control the family finance. Hey, I need $50,000, Scott. Hey, tell him to give me 50 grand, whatever, like that. I'm like, okay, Mike, we'll give you 50 grand, okay? Oh, thank you, whatever. Like, pretty much begging, please, please. Okay. I said to Mom and Dad, I'm like, all right, give him 50 grand. 2 months later, we're out eating afterwards. He says, you guys never do anything for me. You never do any, all of a sudden, nowhere. I almost hit him. I wanted to hit him. I'm like, you do that. We just gave you, you're begging for money. We just gave you 50 grand. We don't do anything for you. Because he did a lot of drugs when he was younger, I think his head's a little bit messed up. He doesn't get that. I don't think he realizes those things, whatever.
Why don't you tell the truth? That until I got sick.
What happened? Your mom give you 100 grand?
75.
What happened? You took that money, you gambled it away. Oh, now you're walking out. Now he walks out. See, I don't mind I don't get mad until he starts that kind of crap. When he wants to get angry and stuff like that, you know what? And I told the truth. He walks out and leaves. Let me tell you something about Mike. Mike is not a bad person. Like, oh, this guy's an evil person. Mike doesn't do things purposely evil or look to hurt people. He just his head is not screwed on right. For you, he did a lot of drugs when he was younger. I don't hold nothing against him. He thinks I resent him. I don't resent him.
It's hard to build a star from the ground up in this industry, and especially now. I mean, I think in the early days, those stars were created. People like Mike Matusow, Phil Hellmuth, Phil Ivey, Daniel Negreanu.
I don't think the poker industry will ever reach the heights of other professional sports on TV. I think the closest it ever got was probably in 2006. I think a lot of that has to do with the lack of characters in the game.
I don't know if the WSOP is lacking. I don't know if it's in their ability to create new characters. I think the game has evolved in such a way that kind of ushered a lot of the old characters out of the door because they haven't been able to keep up with the game. You don't see the players really putting themselves out there as much, and it's hard to make a character out of somebody who's acting like a robot.
There's always cameras around us, Mikey. You're filming, he's filming, I'm filming. Here we are at the Star Costume Shop, Mike. What's up, Bubba? Hold on, let's get it. We're walking in. I'm coming in as Gandalf, the white.
You already get out.
That's what you're going at?
Gandalf the White. You want to see what costumes I'm looking at?
What the fuck is this? Deluxe adult. Oh, Sylvester the Cat. Okay.
Riddle me this, riddle me that. But the Joker seems kind of appropriate. And the last one is over here. I'm coming as Superman one of these years, 100%, but regular size only. They say I need a double XL.
don't want to get sheep because everybody fucking in the United States is a bunch of fucking sheep.
But look at this one, Mikey. Riddle me this, riddle me that. But I'm not the Riddler. I want to come in as a Joker.
Is it Bane?
Yeah.
Batman?
Yeah.
Do they have a mask that goes with it?
I would need the mask.
Because I am a guy, so everything I do is a Joker. It's a fucking joke.
Because the $50,000 buy-in Players Championship, one of our most precious tournaments, begins on Halloween. It's in like 3 days, so, and I'm already coming in as Gandalf the White for my main event entrance, so that would be fun.
I'll find something. I don't care if
You have the Mad Hatter and Double X?
Yes, I do have the Mad Hatter and Double X, and then
So my number one choice would be the Showman, Double X.
Okay.
But if you don't have that, then
Is the Mad Hatter the one that he just said we could be Mad Hatter and Rabbit? Is that what you
Yeah, so be the Rabbit, though.
I'll be the Rabbit. I don't give a shit. Yeah, man. I'm like the Mad Hatter bunny. Keeps alive. It keeps on ticking. A few days before Halloween, store's fucking packed. I don't even know what I'm dressed as. They said I'm dressed as the Mad Hatter from the bunny from Alice in Wonderland.
I'll comp your costume for you, Mike.
Oh, come on, Phil. You don't buy everything for me.
That's a nice serve.
But you know what? You are worth a lot more money than me, so go ahead and fuck it. You can go ahead and buy it. You can go ahead and do it. All right, we're good to go. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Mike Matusow and I have been friends for, God knows, I would say probably 17, 18 years. And we always had a great relationship, hung out all the time, talk about poker hands, go out a lot. We've been through our ups and downs, but...
First came to Vegas, Mike was already a big name, well-known poker player. And I was just a nobody grinding away.
We worked together on Full Tilt back in the day.
You oftentimes use it for somebody who's maybe not playing the biggest games, but kind of hardworking and chiseling some money out of the scene.
Mike is a legend, a very well-liked guy in the poker world. I'm playing with him here at the 5K as a WSOP. A guy sits at the table and says "Oh, Mike Matusow, you're a legend." And the guy found a way to play Jack 9 just to play versus Mike. I thought it was awesome because he wanted to play a hand versus Mike so bad.
I resented the fact when his father was dying, he wasn't here enough.
You guys are telling me that he's going to die, which is you guys have said 50 fucking times.
He was online playing poker. That bothered me a lot. He didn't know he was going to die that night, but he knew that I told him that he was going to die because they told me at hospice.
They said he would never wake up again. And he wakes up and starts screaming at me and screaming at my brother. I said, "I told you, Mother. He's screaming at us." I go, "There's nothing wrong with him. He's fine. Tell the hospice person to leave. Quit fucking putting morphine in him. He's going to be fine."
I understand Mike couldn't be there every day. I never had a problem with that. The problem I think I have with Mike is he's right down the street. My dad cried one time. How come Mike doesn't care? He's crying.
My son here was the one who took care of him, did everything for him. This went over here, and Mike did nothing. And that I resented a lot.
Mike, come on over. Mike, come on over there. "Oh, my back don't feel well."
When I used to go over there, and I would lay in the ottoman, and I'd have to get up and down. My dad would say, "Can you get this for me? Every time I came there, can you get up and get this for me?" And because of my injury, you know what I deal with. You've been watching, getting up. When I get up and down, I'm in a lot of pain, right?
Well, the next thing I hear about it, he's playing a poker game with the Dodgers in Mexico. He feels good enough to do that.
So finally I told my brother, I said, "If I'm gonna come over, Scott, you gotta sit in the room with me. I can't keep getting up and doing things for him." They took it as I'm making the shit up. I don't want to be, that's just how they took it, But every time I left the house, I couldn't move for days. The pain would be so bad.
Or even with me, if I say I don't feel good, "You're all right, you're all right." He always thinks we're going to live forever. Parents don't live forever. His father died, he was almost 90.
I'm not going to sit there and put this all on my brother and say that, well, he's some terrible person. And no, not true. I try to tell the truth in these regards, but it's just, he didn't care.
I couldn't sleep. And I called my mother at 7 a.m. It was 4 hours later. I said, "Did Dad pass away last night?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Around 3 in the morning?" And she said, "Yes." I should have been there in the room with him when my father died. All I wanted him to do was be proud of me. Before he passed away, 3 months before he died, he forgave me for everything.
And he lived a nice long life, but...
We're live vlogging. Say hi to Mike Kamel.
And to all his viewers on the live YouTube situation here.
Coming in as Mad Hatter and
What's up, Phil? Look your fucking face. What are you supposed to be? I'm fucking the rabbit, motherfucker.
And we're coming in. We're gonna route in Mike's career for another. Come on, Mike, start it up.
Ben, what's with the crowd?
All right, are we? Oh, we're crashing for sure. Oh no, we're not gonna crash. I might fall off though.
Just slow down, Amber, Mikey.
You told me to keep going fast.
Yeah, but I mean,
come on, jump out, God. We don't have far to go. Where are we going? The corner or over here?
Where are tables over here, maybe?
I don't know. I think our tables are over here. Where's our tables? Over here?
There's really no characters. I mean, they don't say a word. They play. They take the exact amount of time. They cut the chips out. It's like the most boring thing in the world to watch, you know? And they wonder why most of them don't get invited on Poker After Dark or High Stakes Poker, because nobody wants to watch 6 robots around the table. They want to watch banter. They want to watch blood. They want to watch you going at each other. It's a TV show, and that's what's missing with today's players.
Yeah. Oh, that looks like fucking ice, dude. I used to fucking ice and snort this shit when you're only 2,000. You guys dress up or something. I can't believe people dress up once in a lifetime.
And with the influx of the online guys who learned the game on a computer, or when they were old enough to play live and they kind of took over, the whole personality thing in poker players kind of went out the window.
12:05 and the tournament started 12, you didn't get in. You don't believe that? What, I'm fucking lying, you fucking idiot?
Like, you do look like an idiot right now.
I do look like a fucking...
And I think that that's why poker on TV will never be as interesting as it used to be with these old school guys.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Let me ask something. Let me interview you, Dad.
No, I'm not. This is the chainsaw corner. Okay. You're like a hijack. It's like I'm doing the chainsaw corner, and Mike will not shut his fucking mouth. It's like if you think you can play poker next to Mike for 8 hours without losing your mind because he incessantly talks.
I've got a question for you, Mr. Chainsaw. Have you ever met a more negative person than this guy?
Yes, you by
No,
far.
not anymore.
Yes, you're the most negative person in the entire world by 1,000,000%. You're the most negative ever. No, Alan is positive.
Was I negative yesterday in that tournament? Never negative.
You did great.
All right. Good luck, Daniel. Run this up. We have the same stack. Let's go.
It's like I can say let's.
So I did a Twitter poll, who was more negative, and Mike Matusow blew Kessler out of the water. It wasn't even close. And if you ask Mike, he's like, what do you mean negative? I'm not negative. I'm like, look at the tone of every single one of your tweets. He's like, that's true. I said, well, you're an idiot. That's also true. But me saying that's negative, right?
I've been a lot more positive lately, but he's been a lot more negative. But he also is positive at the table, if that means anything. Like he doesn't have negativity at the table. He plays positive. He just walks in every year and makes final table, deep run. But he just seems to run like me. Like at the when it matters, he just gets completely. I don't want to say the word on camera. I've known him at least 20 years. He doesn't get the respect he's supposed to get.
I just try to figure out how many tournaments in a row can I be down the last 2 tables and never win a pot. I just want to know how it's possible. How is it motherfucking possible? I catch a 6 and a 9. I check raiser. He re-raises me. I broke my 9. No, he drew 2. He has a wheel in first draw. Drawing completely dead. Then I triple up. I check raise him on a fucking made 9 and a fucking a deuce 3 6 7 draw, and I'm drawing fucking dead.
You know where payouts is at?
No, I have no fucking clue where it's at.
Right across.
Of course I know where it's at.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna be with you a bit.
Forward, you're fine.
So sorry.
Don't worry.
That's not me.
You're okay. You're okay. What's up?
Very soon.
He's always been the same when it comes to it's not, people think it's an act that he puts on the table, and I'm going to tell you the truth. He's acting to try to be more normal. Actually, he's much more insane in real life. And he's trying to act to be normal. He's not acting for attention. That's the way Mike is.
The butter and the garlic.
There's some kind of like very bad echo or something in here that makes me bark. Because I just don't bark anyway. I don't know when it's gonna come though. I don't know when it's coming. It's coming soon though. I don't know when. Bark! There it is. I told you it was coming soon. I felt it.
We're going to this shithole fucking trailer park. You had the shed in the back. It's one of those two. Hold on a second. I bought this place for $5,000 and I lived in it for 5 years. Whatever.
It's really been a great World Series of Poker. So I just thank all of you for being here over these last several weeks. It's been an amazing series.
One good day or one good tomorrow and my whole life changes. Today's main event, day 1B. We decided to go with day 1B because our sleep schedule is still a little off. I woke up at 11:30 today.
To win, you gotta be lucky. You gotta run good at a final table.
Just be glad I can still play poker. That's the only thing I got going.
Why is anybody able to ante up 10,000 for the main event? It's just the way it is, you know, and that's what makes poker so great, is anybody can beat anybody on any given day. Guy just got second in the main event, and he had one big blind left with 23 to go. He plays in a $5, $10 home game, and he just cashed for $4 million. You know, many of us poker players play our whole lives to dreaming to be in that spot. And this guy just walks right up and done it, and it's not the first. It's happened to a lot of people. You have the poker boom of the moneymaker effect, you know, and you have, right now you have a poker boom because Bitcoin is going crazy and everybody has some, so there's $1 zillion floating around the entire World Series of Poker. You really got to see the same people with a shot to win every tournament.
Such a long tournament. Every hand is one hand at a time, one day at a time.
Your restart's gonna be Tuesday.
We got to go to the 50 North Tower Valet, 51st floor. Where's that?
So North Tower, when you go inside, you're going straight to your right past Starbucks.
Straight to your right, starts
There's
Starbucks.
2 sets of elevators. One goes to certain levels. Just look at what number you have to go to.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, man. Perfect. So blank.
Well, you filmed me 2 years ago at WSOP and didn't tell me you were filming me. I don't know if you remember me. I'm Rosa from the lodge. I'm one of the owners.
Yes.
I just look a little different.
Yeah, I just met your husband. Yeah, I remember you.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Truth of the matter is that I don't remember like what I did yesterday because I'm brain dead.
Feel bad. I call it sometime. Sometimes I remember, sometimes I forget.
I don't have a sometimer. I just forget.
Learned a lot from this man, and this man is an ambassador and a legend of the game.
Thank you.
Thanks, Father, from the beginning. I'm glad to see old school as you are still holding it down, even in this era. Poker wouldn't be where it is today, right now, without Mike the Mouth Matusow. And I truly mean that, brother.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
You're nice to meet you, man. Thank you, Mike. You're a legend. Thanks, my man. Pleasure to meet you.
I got to meet one of the people I grew up with this year. I got to meet Mike the Mouth.
Want some cheese, Frank?
I grew up watching, Mike and Phil and Dan and just all of the original, Full Tilt legends. They were the reason we all got into it.
Wondering where the fucking food was at.
It's right in here.
Gave you such a big desire to get up on that stage and do what they're doing.
Mike was the entertainer back in his day that people want today. He was actually ahead of his time.
Today, without him, his personality at the table is one of the things that made it so fun to watch when the Moneymaker boom happened. They gave poker a pulse.
All right, attention all players, you guys should start making way to your seats at this time.
Every year, I give out 1% to 5 of my 10K tournaments or higher. And then I get on the podcast and I do trivia and I give out another 1% to 5 of my tournaments. And I feel good about doing that.
Fours is out of the question.
It's day 2 of the main event, and Mike Matusow hobbled over to talk to me. Mike, what is going on?
I don't know. I woke up with some kind of hip pointer, and I can't walk. It's like a shooting pain down my leg. I wrapped it with a ace bandage. Me and him, we wrapped it as tight as I could just to help me. And so I'm not in pain playing. That's the good news. Only when I'm
Are
walking.
you like more mental strength than physical?
Yeah. I'm in great mental shape today. I feel great. 135 on the second break. Average by 85. We're in good shape.
Hello, handsome. Well, Mr. Woods. Really good. Good to see you. Good to see you.
You look good, man.
Thank you.
You look Mike, you weight or you look good.
Mike, you look you look good too, man. You pulled it back. You had a hard year.
You changed a lot.
Yeah.
You look good.
Come on, things are good for me, man.
I've got a wonderful woman in my life. Makes all the difference.
Yeah, that's all I need.
Smart. Changed your life completely.
Changed his life?
Yeah.
Such a decent person.
I have a great wife too.
No, but she's a
Man, I'm only 53. I have plenty of time to meet somebody. Truly one of the top 3 best mixed game players.
Top 3
in the world.
old players.
Definitely. This guy's the man. My man David Williams. Frank, how are you?
What's up, Frank?
Me and Phil talk between an hour and 2 hours a day on the phone every day. We've gotten close and we get into it a lot, but Phil's a marketer. He's a genius marketer. He knows how to market himself and then keep the whole entire world believing he's the best in the world. But I don't want to go down as the greatest poker player of all time. That means nothing to me. It absolutely means 0 to me. But Phil, he's such a great tournament player, and he does want to be. I told him, well, you're going to have to be a master of the mixed games. So I've spent hundreds of hours talking strategy with him in the mixed games. And this year at the World Series 2021, it finally paid off. He made 7 final tables in 7 different events.
Something of utmost importance to tell thee. Share with me thine bounty for my wisdom.
Without me, Phil, Daniel, Phil Ivey, there is no poker that they're making millions and everybody's getting rich off of. We built the shit from the ground up. First WPT, 25 people, then 50, then 100, then 200, then Moneymaker Effect, then 2,300, then 50. That was us. That was us traveling all over the fucking world.
Mike? I mean, Mike is my best poker friend for sure. Mike's intellectually challenging and also challenging in a lot of other ways.
He's fucking nuts, dude.
But you gotta love the guy. Great heart, great guy. Half my tweets I'm thinking about what's great for poker. So yeah, it's a big responsibility, but I embrace it. I love it, and I let people into my life, you know. And I think they appreciate that.
Well, I'm holding, you start with 2 cards. They put 3 on the flop community cards. Then they put a betting round. Then they put a turn card out, another betting round. They put the river out, another betting round. Your job is, when you're becoming a great no-limit player, is knowing what the other person's doing, knowing their tendencies. You know, I knew the way they threw their chips in when they were strong or weak. I was able to look at them and know when they looked nervous. I mean, I was an unbelievable card reader.
I always call. I made a fucking 61,000 chip mistake. You know, sitting on 140 right now, you know how good I'm sitting? I told you, you don't take fucking marginal spots in the main event. I told you that.
So 2004 main event, I was playing for my life. That was the Raymer year. You know, the one where I told Raymer he has little cojones, I got big cojones. In all fairness, he tried to bluff me a big pot, raised me on the river, and I re-raised him on the river with 5 high. And he folded, and I showed the 5 high. I wasn't trying to come after Raymer. We had one of the best tables in the room. They were letting me and Greg Raymer run over the table. But then he decided he's going to be greedy and start coming after me. Well, I took it personal because he's being an idiot. We have the softest table, but because he was real aggressive and a good player, I raised 5, he raised 4. He raised 5, I raised 4, until he started coming after me.
Back when I won, players were a lot less experienced. The fields were softer. Players have gotten a lot better since then.
If you want to become a poker player, then you absolutely have to invest all of your time into poker.
Poker's so tough right now. It's not the same that it used to be.
I advise all young, smart kids not to get into poker, even when they're starting out, you know, maybe as a hobby, but not as a main source of income. I don't think it's a bright future ahead.
Don't try to treat it as a job. Treat it as entertainment.
People ask me all the time, they want some advice because they're going to leave school, quit their job to play poker full time, and I always tell them not to do it.
Poker's different now than it used to be. You know, it's a new game, a new time.
Longevity is very difficult in this profession. A lot of people have got broke through bad decisions, money management.
Understand that the game's always going to be here. Play within a bankroll that makes sense to you.
Get into sort of the stock market or something else where the skill set's very similar, but the upside's a lot more.
You know, the younger you are, the better, because if you have a family, if you have a wife, you have kids, you're starting right now, it's a little more difficult.
It is very expensive to be traveling around.
Most of them who ask me probably actually aren't good enough to play for a living.
I have this really weird thing that's came over me. And I think that today is the day that we start our hot run of chips that we've been waiting 7 weeks for. And I'm going to finish the day with 1.2 million. Now, my goal is 600.
All right, welcome back all players. This is day 3, main event, World Series of Poker. We are 12:44. Buck is in the 7. Buck is in the 7th seat. And good luck all players. Dealers, please shuffle up a deal.
Aria we call. Aria poker we Aria poker we call. Aria we call. Aria we call Aria poker.
Going to the coin to decide call or fold.
Aria poker. Really good. You gonna go by? They just go by the points.
That's a good fold for me.
It's not for you. It's for this.
Thank you for that coin, Jimmy. Thank you. Trying to coach the fold. Joined by Mike Matusow of day 3 dinner break of the World Series of Poker, Maine. Also supporter of Barstool Sports, fair today, 4-9. First of all, before we get to Dave, how's the man going?
We got what we came here to get. Even though he fucked me $100,000. It's going good. I got a top of table, but I'm maneuvering, I'm playing well. I've moved my stack from 130 to 298.
All y'all in? I'll take a look at the clock. Nine of hearts, 8 of diamonds, 7 of clubs. So we have an elimination. Of course, the big round is on the table. This time there's 1,000 players left in the main event. You're all the money. Congratulations.
You know, ease into it, make sure you learn the game, take your time, start at low stakes, don't just dive in.
You might see guys in bigger games that you think you're better than. If you don't have the money, just wait till you do.
Players are too good nowadays, especially in No Limit Texas Hold'em.
Sleeping well and resting well and exercising and being fit mentally and physically is also extremely important.
Whether it was playing games too big or betting on sports.
And there's lots of people that win at poker, but then they lose it all back playing craps and blackjack.
If you crush it, you make a lot of money, cool. But I would really advise against turning to a career, because upon hundreds of thousands of people go broke every year.
And then finally, even if you can overcome all of those hurdles.
It's a tough industry to get out of it when you're broke now. It's not like it used to be in the old days where everyone was staking, everyone money just flew around.
It's 10 years later, I'm making a good living, but I've gotten bored with poker and I'd like to do something else. But now they've got a big 10-year hole in their resume. How do I get a real job now?
To play online poker, you must know GTO and all those cards, okay? Which I don't.
Okay, I'm here, but standing out of the shot right now. Well, Mike, how would you sum up what went wrong for you today?
Felt like today was going to be my son on. I just want to cry, but I need to be by myself. When you get knocked out of me every year, the fucking worst feeling in the world.
So I have to deal with fucking worried about having a bad med day. And they don't have to worry about that. And I had a bad med day, and I was not sharp, and I didn't really make monster mistakes.
I'm gonna be fucking having dead so often. I don't even understand this. I don't even get it. Every fucking tournament, it's like 2-1, 3-1, 2-1, 3-1, lose every fucker. Maybe I'll play the app game tonight.
Back then, he had just so much money coming in every month that he didn't care. And I had seen him bet $50,000 on a game, and he would fire really big, especially on the college bowl games. And I saw him win big on those college bowl games, and I saw him lose big on those college bowl games. And then obviously there's been big swings. And
on serious suicide watch after this fucking tournament. Oh my god. Maybe I took too much Adderall, man. What do you want me to do? Fuck me up to whack me out. These things should be in the medicine cabinet, but I'm too fucking lazy to put them away. $12 left, 564, 40-80. Gives me, got 7 big bets. It's fine, I have plenty. We gotta have start catching some cards though, man.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it. You're my favorite.
Thanks, my man. Two hours gone by, I won my normal 1 pot.
Show him a fucking bluff one time. Show it.
50?
I'll give you 20 this one. I'll give you 20.
I go by the fucking
20?
coin. No, I see a 3. I go by the coin. You'd love to show me a bluff right now. I would show you one. The only thing that made me cry is when I got the way I got broken at PLO, that if all the money was up top.
This actually turned into a bad beat story. I don't know how he does it. He actually turned it into
It's not a bad beat story. It's just that was the first time I cried until 2004 because I knew where all the money was.
Mike, here's what you got to understand about you. We take the new Matusow and we peel off the face, and what's under there? Okay, the old Matusow.
Matusow's long gone.
He's long gone, I know.
It's been long gone for many years.
Many years.
So we're gonna peel those.
He's a great and honest. I love him. Like, I would. You think I tease him like this if I didn't love him? Huh?
30?
Well, you were moving on that, but let me
My
read
whole
you
life,
that.
the
You think I tease him like this if I didn't?
And then in 2015, next hand, no matter what.
Nice run.
It never ends. I love beef carpaccio.
No, carpaccio, that's an appetizer. Everything's great here. All the deli's the best Italian restaurant in Vegas.
The pain is just shooting down my back into my fucking foot.
I don't know how you can make a final table on a big tournament with this kind of pain.
Yeah, can I get a double with no cheese, ketchup, mustard only, meal with a lemonade, medium? Gotta win. And then we gotta get the Hall of Fame. Then we gotta go deep in the main event. It's cake. Thanks so much. Have a good day.
And they're two different games. You know, there's like 1% of all great poker players that are great online and great cash game players. It just doesn't happen because live is so different. Like online is all math. They could 3-bet me. I don't have a fucking clue what they have. Where live, when they 3-bet me, I see the way they 3-bet me, whether they're weak or not, and then I'll 4-bet them. I can't pull triggers online and be right every time like I am playing live.
But that's kind of good news for the other two players that are eliminated. That means those three players are going to split one place, so you guys are leaving with some money. The rest of you are all in the money.
From 2014 to 2019, I played the victim every day. Why me? How could this happen to me? Never done a hard day's work in my life. There is no God. God wouldn't do this to me. And just then things would just get worse and worse. And then once the spinal cord stimulator put in and it blocked 80% of my pain, I stopped playing the victim. I got belief in God back, and my life has gone straight uphill ever since then. So, you know, the moral of the story is appreciate life every day like it's your last day on earth, because if I could wake up and be almost paralyzed, you could walk right out the door here and drive and get hit by a drunk driver and you could be paralyzed. So treat people with respect, treat people the way you want to be treated, and understand that every day you wake up is a blessing.
Well, I'm getting prouder. He's getting a little better. There was a time I was not.
He was really bad in the past where no matter any money he had, he'd bet like 20 grand at sporting. He wouldn't even, he just liked the action.
He's watching his money a little bit. Before he'd never watch anything.
I would say he's definitely got better over the last 10 years. He definitely takes better care of his money now. I think he's learned his lesson somewhere. That's good to see that, actually.
So I picked the wrong time to pull the trigger, but that would never happen in a live game because I see everything. But online, because I don't study charts in GTO because I'm a field player, if you're going to play online poker, you must study charts. You must know perfect GTO. But I have no interest in playing online. I mean, I show up at the World Series every year and I cash half the events I play and I make 3-4 final tables, and unfortunately I can't win one because I can never fucking catch a card on the final table. It's just insane.
They're going to say that I unnecessarily gave away the main event for no reason when he only raised me 100. I know he's doesn't have a full house. I know he doesn't have nut flush draw. I'm going to get a lot more hate mail. But you know what?
You're used to that, so
I'm fine with it.
Thank you
It's
so
all
much.
good.
We appreciate it.
You got it.
Thank you.
Fucking sick to my stomach. I've never bluffed it off in the main event. Never. I can't fucking breathe, man. Fucking just totally dead. It's the exact same thing I did last year, man, when I got beat on the river. Instead of just giving the fucking pot up, saving, I fucking decided. Tournament poker's just not for me anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it over the fucking period of time. I'll be okay.
That's nervous.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm gonna go cry in a corner. I'll be all right.
I hear you.
You need help with something? You good?
Can't do that.
Shake it off, buddy, all right?
I prefer you to have a different combo.
Right.
But I like the line that you took.
I knew he had a
The
small
that you
fluff.
took it in.
Yeah.
And GG, my friend.
It sucks that if he has like a little more chips, he's full.
Oh my God, Mikey! Everybody I've said they would have folded in a second against you.
Like he said, he loved everybody else.
No, I'm just telling you. Everybody I've talked to,
I like them.
Literally,
I was happy.
Literally nobody would have called. Like, how can they call? There's a paired board, king and a queen.
I went for it, man. I knew what the guy
What was the board? What was the
hold him and hold him.
Okay.
You know my image. Very tight. He just took a really bad turn here. He's not eating his treats. He always does. Here we go. Oh, I know you want his treats. Here, Flashy. Here, Flashy. Well, he could barely stand up. Come here. Here, Flash. Here we go. Here we go. God, he just walked up on my bed like an hour ago. Baba! He always reacts to it. Look, he looks like he's gonna fall over. He's going to. Oh my God. Baba. I mean, the main event's the granddaddy of them all. I mean, there's nothing else. In cash games, I think it's all skill. 90% skill, 10% luck. In tournaments, 70% table draw. If you get a bad table draw, you ain't winning shit. I don't care if you're the best player in the world. 20% skill and 10% luck. I mean, table draw is everything.
elevate our sport. Here's to Mike Sexton and the Mike Sexton WPT Champions Cup. Here's to the players. Please welcome the CEO of the World Poker Tour, Adam Pliska, accompanied by members of the WPT family.
Hi everybody, welcome to the WPT Championship at Wynn Las Vegas, and we're happy to be here today. I'm joined by Vince Van Patten, Tony Dunst, Lynn Gilmartin, and Matt Savage, and we just have a few announcements here to make. First of all, thank you, give yourselves a big round of applause for helping us beat the guarantee, but also the largest prize pool in WPT history. Thank you for 20 years. We love you, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the show, and we'll be back soon.
10 years ago, it was $660,000 to play all the World Poker Tour events in the United States. Every buy-in was $10,000 back in 2011. And now they've lowered them, all the WPTs, to like 3,500, so they get bigger turnouts, you know, and they've added re-entries, so the fields are bigger. But re-entries and late reg have destroyed tournament poker. They made sports betting legal, which means they're going to make online poker legal, and there's going to be online poker rooms that are looking to sponsor players. You know, it's hard for me because I'm older. They're looking for the younger players, you know.
I've known Mike for a long, long time. You know, when I started many years ago, I was running the World Series of Poker in 2002, 3, and 4. There was always Mike Matusow, and there was always the Mike Matusow blow-up. But he's always been very, very good at poker tournaments. He hasn't won a WPT as of yet, but hopefully he will get there someday.
I cried all day last night. I cried this morning. You know, I lost my best friend of 21 years. It sucks. So, you know, life's not fair. You got to do what you can and try and help people become better people.
Oh, this flash. This was left the flash. We have his hair, his little paw, and it says 4 feet in heaven,
Your favorite chair is vacant now, but I will miss you, little friend. But I could never measure the happiness you brought me, the comfort and the pleasure. And since God put you here to share to earthly joy and sorrow, I'm sure there'll be a place for you in heaven and bright tomorrow. Man, I'm cremated. Here he is. There he is. That's pretty sad. Yeah, they take a little impression of his little feet. It's pretty fun. My poor little guy. But now I'm depressed. Nobody that really understands, like, when things were bad for me, you know, Daniel loaned me money and I made some mistakes and I kind of fucked it off. And I owe a little bit of money still, which not much, very little bit. I owed over $700,000 a year and a half ago, and now it's less than 200. Me and Daniel, we had a really bad war about it, and we became really close again. And he loaned me $150, and I paid him back all of it $70, and this is gonna clear our debt. It means so much to me to do this.
Pretty good. Cheers, buddy. Bring it in.
I really loved you.
I love you too, bro.
And, but, you know, when nobody was there for me, you were there for me. And it means so much. Just wanted to know that.
Yeah, you got it.
You got it.
I'm glad you're doing better.
I've been through so much to come back. It's just,
baby.
I am back.
Let's go.
I am fucking so back, bro. And I'll never go broke again.
That's right. Smart.
Ever. I refuse to go broke again. I don't care if I have to play $5 and $10. I will never go broke again.
Mike Matusow. I know you've been sick for a while, Chad, but were you watching this?
I was. It was event number 55, the 1507 card stud high-low 8 or better, one of Mike's best games. So it's been 10 years since Mike won his latest bracelet, which was number 4. I was there. In this event, 566 runners. Matusow has a chip deficit, but he's not going down without a fight. He had Phil Hellmuth on the rail, Steve Buckner, aka Cuz, a former guest here on the show. But try as he might, that chip differential was just too much to overcome. Ended up finishing in second place, but it was still pretty exciting to see, like, all right, the mouth has still got it.
It was unfortunate he didn't make his 5th bracelet. I really wanted him to.
He's still got it. He's still going deep. He was knocking on the door for another bracelet. However, that same token, Brian Rast was at this final table. He finished in 7th place. So another deep run for him, who is largely, I think, considered the favorite for the Poker Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
But Matusow here saying, hey, not so fast.
All right, here we go. Ready? What up, Mike the Mouth here, man. This is a shout out on behalf of your administration to the following new members for helping grow stacks. Shout out to my man Ryan, Mike the Mouth here, man. What's going on? Rumor has it you're getting married. Have you lost your fucking mind? Try and have balance. Distance yourself from politics, distance yourself from negativity, distance yourself, all the young kids in poker, from partying. You need balance. I like to tell people all the time that I'm 100 times the person today than I was 3 years ago. I built myself a pretty healthy bankroll. I quit betting sports in 2016. Toughest thing I ever did. It was 1,000 times tougher than quitting drugs, I'll tell you that. I've been trying to get off the opioids for 7 years. I'm gonna spend the next 4 months. I'm personally gonna take a week off and sleep. And then I'm going to spend the next 4 months taking a quarter pill of opioids, and hopefully in 4 months, I'll be completely off the opioids. I've lost 27 pounds. I'm hoping to lose another 15. And I'm hoping I meet a nice girl and get married, and, I mean, maybe have a kid of my own. I mean, like, I don't know, you know, it's tough bringing kids in the world, in this crazy world right now, but it's something I always wanted, and I'm running out of time. I'm 53 years old.
Mike the Mouth off to another good start. He started off hot in yesterday's game as well.
Oh my God.
Mike the Mouth, hotter than a pistol right now.
Fuck, I knew he had a 10. I guess I should have gone all in.
He's going to win a nice pot there, 7,000 profit. The heater continues for Mike the Mouth. Mike the Mouth up to almost 100 large as we wrap up this epic Tuesday night action here at the Hustler Casino.
How do you want to be remembered in the poker industry and in life in general?
In the poker industry, I want to be remembered as one of the pioneers that built the World Series, built the World Poker Tour to what it was. I believe in my heart without me and Phil and Daniel and Ivy, the poker wouldn't be where it is, and Moneymaker, poker wouldn't be where it is today. So, you know, I just want to be remembered as somebody who's in his era from 1999 to 2005 that I was top 3 players in the world, no limit hold'em. You know, I want to be remembered as somebody that really helped build poker to where it is today. Everybody in the poker world will always say Mike's got a heart of gold and Mike will do anything for anybody. And people that don't know me will say opposite, but they don't know me.